Hey DIYers, Jarrett here from Alarm Grid. Today we're going to be going over how you would set up the Wi-Fi on a 2GIG GC3e panel. It's very simple to go ahead and set up the Wi-Fi in a GC3e. Just, there's a couple of steps to go through, and it's quite simple. I mean, you'll be able to get it done very quickly. Now, the thing is about setting up the Wi-Fi in the GC3 or the GC3e, I do just want to let you know here that it is like if you're looking to set up monitoring services with the system, you want to make sure that the system still has a cellular communicator installed. So setting up the Wi-Fi in a GC3e, it can be very important because it gives the system another method of communication for monitoring services. Now, you can't set up just a Wi-Fi connection with the system for it to be monitored. That's why I say you have to have the cellular communicator installed, because the platform it uses, which is alarm.com, requires that system and all the main alarm.com systems to use that cellular communicator. It's something that they have in place for redundancy for the alarm system to make sure that if anything happens, your system can still communicate. Now, setting up the Wi-Fi on there is just setting up like a secondary communication method on the system. It's still going to be using the cellular communicator, but it's going to have that Wi-Fi connection as another method to be able to communicate. So essentially, if you're using alarm.com, or if the alarm were to trigger and is sending out alarm signals, it's going to send out the signal through both the Wi-Fi and also the cellular connection. So it's good to set it up if you wanted to. It's not exactly needed, but if you wanted to do, or if you wanted a little bit of a faster connection with the system or anything, then you would set it up with the Wi-Fi. Now, if you want to go ahead and set up the Wi-Fi, what you're going to need is the master code and or the installer code. If you don't have the master code, you can use the installer code to go ahead and get to that setting so you can set up the Wi-Fi. So when setting up a cellular communicator with the system, you actually have two you can choose from. There's a Verizon LTE version and there's an AT&T LTE version. The Verizon version is called the 2GIG LTE V1-A-GC3. The AT&T version is the 2GIG LTE A-A-GC3. You can find both of these on our website if you want to go ahead and order these. They are both available, and these are going to work for both the GC3e and the GC3 system if you still have one of those. Now, if you wanted to set up the Wi-Fi in the panel, as I said, you can go ahead and use the master code and or the installer code to go ahead and access that programming so you can set up the Wi-Fi. So what you want to do here in the GC3e is at the bottom right, you see system settings. Just tap on that and it's going to bring up a keypad. So this is when you enter your code. We're just going to use the default master code, which is 1111. If you didn't have the default master code and you only had the installer code, you can go ahead and use that, but the default installer code is 1561. So you're going to scroll down here in this next window, you're going to look for network settings. Just go ahead and tap on that. So now what you want to do is go ahead and tap on wireless. And it's going to take you to this window here with the different Wi-Fi networks available. So you're just going to go ahead and look for your Wi-Fi name that you have set up. If you don't see it immediately, just scroll down the list and you should be able to find it. Now, if you're not seeing it, you can hit the refresh option, so you can just refresh the Wi-Fi networks that pop up, see if you can find yours, or you can just go ahead and join another network and enter everything manually. In this instance, we're going to be connecting this to the Alarm Grid Wi-Fi, and it is actually currently connected. So what we're going to do is just forget the network so that we can go ahead and re-add it. So just we're going to tap on forget network here. And if you ever do need to set up your system with a different Wi-Fi network, that's basically what you would do. Is you would just go into that Wi-Fi network that the system is currently connected to and then click on forget network, so you could just forget it. You could re-add it to a different one. Now that we did go ahead and forget that, as you can see, it's no longer connected to the Wi-Fi network. So if you just tap on it, it's going to bring up this window. This is where you just enter the password for your Wi-Fi network. Once you've entered the password, then you're just going to tap on next at the bottom right, and that'll take you to the next window to follow through with the next steps. So we're just going to enter our password here. All right, and now once we've tapped on next, and it's going to go ahead and start loading everything here in this next window, and it's in some occasions it's going to pull this up where it doesn't show you an IP address or anything here. That's okay. Sometimes it does that. If you want to make sure that it's connecting to an IP address, you can just hit the back arrow, go back into it. You can go ahead and see that, or you could just let it sit here and load. Sometimes it could take a few minutes for it to show those different settings. Now that it did, we gave it the chance to go ahead and load, it's pulling up everything right here for the network. We have the IP address, subnet mask, gateway, DNS server, everything. If you did want to go ahead and manually enter, like a static IP or anything like that, you could just tap on here. As you can see, this is on auto, and then you have manual up here. But now we are successfully connected to the network. So once you've done that, just hit the back arrow. And you can see right here, we are connected. So to go ahead and save the changes, just hit the back arrow again. And again. At this point, you're just going to go back to the main menu. So that is how you set up Wi-Fi in the 2GIG GC3e. If you have any further questions about a 2GIG GC3e or alarm systems in general, please reach us at support@alarmgrid.com or go to our website, alarmgrid.com. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. If you have notifications of future videos, please click the bell icon. This is Jarrett with Alarm Grid. You have a great day.